Thanks, Kira. It's great to be with everyone today discussing NRH's Fitch Street Seniors Residence Project, the first LEED certified social housing build in the Niagara region, and how the lessons of this project lend themselves to creating a successful municipal business case. I thought it might be beneficial to examine a few key sections of the business case, namely needs, organizational readiness, project vision, and project financials. Using the Fitch Street build, we'll look at how the decision to undertake a sustainable residential project can influence and be influenced by these four factors. One of the first steps in creating our business case for Fitch Street was performing a thorough needs assessment. We started by examining the needs and mandate of our organization as found in our bylaws, who we serve, which municipalities, and what delivery models were at our disposal. We then looked at NRH's strategic planning and long-term goals. Our board had been showing interest in a sustainable build, wishing to set a standard for triple bottom line development. NRH management was hopeful this project would create new knowledge and best practices for our organization. Once we understood the sustainability goals, our project team assessed housing needs and demands across the region. We examined internal waitlist info, municipal studies, CMHC reports, and federal census data, which helped us to determine the demographics we wanted to target and possible locations for the build. Knowing the target tenancy, we now had to select an appropriate site. Our strategic plan told us which lands in our portfolio were suitable for development and that the City of Welland was in high need for new units. City staff gave their full support for a LEED project, and we selected Fitch Street. Next, we looked at organizational readiness. This was critical for NRH when considering its first LEED project. We had to look at our capacity for new methods and the risk tolerance of our board and our management. Our business case helped our board embrace the unknowns, the learning curve, and higher upfront costs of a LEED build. For NRH, the most important question when creating the business case was, could we assemble a strong project team? Did we have staff at all levels willing to face a challenge? And were they adaptable? What knowledge, if any, did staff have in sustainable construction or programs like the Green Municipal Fund? As our internal knowledge of LEED was low, bringing on experienced consultants who could help reduce project risks was critical. Our prime consultants and our general contractor were all vetted for LEED expertise, first through pre-qualification and then through formal proposals and interviews, typical in public procurement. At this point, the beginnings of an overall project vision were in place. We had now determined where we would build, who to build for, and what our sustainability goal was, namely achieving LEED certification. We also felt confident this project would align with NRH's mandates and its bylaws. To further refine the project vision, it was now time to drill down into the LEED program itself and how it would shape the overall design, construction, operations, and the financials of the project. This involved researching and selecting a reasonable LEED certification target, and in our case, this was LEED Silver. In terms of design, we were lucky in that zoning had previously been amended for our site to allow for construction of a second building. Setbacks, heights, and parking were all laid out for us already. Knowing the available footprint and site plan, we could set design targets for the project to achieve LEED Silver. Our team tried to identify upcoming challenges of LEED construction, like scheduling, material sourcing, new trades, commissioning, and reporting. For operations, we knew our staff would require training on new systems like geothermal. Also, revised maintenance and service contracts would be necessary. To achieve financial viability, NRH looked at funding programs offered through all levels of government that support social housing projects. Ultimately, we were successful in applying for capital dollars through the Green Municipal Fund through IAH Ontario and also CMHC seed funding. The project's final capital budget was a combination of grants and loans through the funding programs mentioned previously, as well as NRH capital reserves that were dedicated to our new building program, and donations in kind that included municipal incentives and development charge waivers. Our operating pro forma was developed using baseline data from existing NRH buildings and savings estimates for proposed sustainable systems. We expected a payback period of roughly 3 to 7 years for the higher upfront lead costs. However, due to unexpected maintenance issues, there was a small delay in the payback period. So now we've looked at elements of the business case. Let's look at the triple bottom line of the project and why did a LEED development make sense for us? Importantly, LEED met our mandate of providing high quality, affordable units to people in Niagara. It also let us create new units in an environmentally conscious manner. Economically, this project brought new jobs and taxes to the city, and local businesses continue to benefit from having new tenants in the area. For NRH, the building's energy efficiency provides ongoing utility savings. This project also brought new knowledge and skills to our organization. Pursuing LEED certification also opened up doors to new funding opportunities, such as FCM's Green Municipal Fund. This program made it possible through capital contributions and loans for Fitch Street to reach its sustainability goals while still providing mandatory affordability levels for our tenants. And that's a very brief overview of our project business case. Thanks so much for listening, and I hope there were some useful takeaways for your own projects. I really appreciate this opportunity from FCM to discuss our project and to promote the notion that now more than ever, it's really critical to keep fighting our housing and climate crises. Thanks very much.